let's just categorize this artwork. How would you categorize this painting?
Factory.
Factory is what it is a painting of, but how would you describe it? How would you categorize it? Okay, let's back up. We categorize art one of three ways. Realism, abstract, non-objective. Okay, do we know what those are?
Yeah.
Maybe, kind of?
Realism is like painting or like drawing something that's realistic. Abstract is drawing something that doesn't look realistic. And then, what's the third one you said again?
Non-objective.
Non-objective is it doesn't look like anything.
Boom,
Yeah.
got it, okay? Realism is just that. It's painted or drawn or sculpted just like it appears. So how would you categorize this? Realism. Okay, thank you. I was a little worried. This is realism. This was painted the way it actually looks. I had an image of something and I painted it, okay? This is how I got back into painting. Like you, I'm gonna guess, let's just back up and I'll ask you a question. How many of you guys, when you come into art and Miss Hopek gives you an assignment and you sit around for a few minutes, you go, I don't really know what to draw. Let's say we're gonna do a drawing and you go, I don't know what to draw. How many of you does that apply to? A lot of you? All right. What I want to convey to you is that is a very typical, normal thing, regardless of somebody's ability, experience, whatever, okay? I put myself in that same group because I knew there was a point in my life, probably 15 years ago, that I wanted to get back into art, okay? Had no idea what I wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted to do some printmaking, I didn't know if I wanted to do some drawing, I didn't know if I wanted to do painting. I just wanted to do something. And so I just, probably for a year, just kind of thought about it on occasion and thought, okay, I want to. I just didn't know what to do. Okay, then I said, all right, I'm gonna do a painting. So I contacted an old professor, said, I want to sit down for a lesson, a class with you, and I want to get back into this. Let's start. So then it was a matter of, okay, now what do I do? Okay, what do I paint? I just finally got back to, I kept coming back to architectural stuff. I love architectural structures. I love just old buildings. And I thought, okay, there's my subject right there. So I went out and I took a bunch of photographs of buildings, bits of buildings, pieces of buildings. All right, that's where I'm gonna start. So that's how this came about. And that's how I started painting again. I just flat out just found a structure I liked, found an image I liked, and I started painting, okay? So that got me going. And there was a point where I enjoyed doing this, but then it was kind of just like, so what? You took an image and you painted it, okay? I kind of got bored with it. So then I thought, all right, I want to expand on this. And just by chance, on occasion, I go to art shows, and there's an art show in Kansas City on the plaza called the Plaza Art Fair. Anybody heard of that? Have you heard of it? Have you been there? What'd you think of it?
It was really like.
Really neat, pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool.
The art fair is probably hundreds of different booths. I think we said booths, right? Is that right, Miss? Booths? What's the plural of booth? Booths? Booths. And each artist, completely different stuff. Some the printmaking, photography, sculpture, ceramics, painting, you name it. So that kind of lit the spark a little bit. I really wanted to get back, kind of reminded me that I wanted to get back into painting. It reminded me I wanted to kind of let my work evolve a little bit, but again, I wasn't too sure what I wanted to do. And I stumbled on this one booth, and I can't remember the first name, but the lady's name was Abbott. And she did some non-objective stuff, and it was awesome. That was kind of what I needed. I said, all right, that's where I want to go. So I took that idea, kind of quizzed her a little bit, actually emailed back and forth as far as process, materials, and she worked with acrylic. And I don't believe she did any collage, but she did a lot of texturing. So that's how this came about, okay? This was my very first non-objective collage / mixed media piece. Had no idea what I was doing. Just thought, I'm gonna start, okay? Didn't have anything to go from, didn't have any reference. I just started putting paint on the canvas. Underneath this is the completed piece. Okay, I did a piece, I painted it, it was okay, but I really wasn't satisfied with it. So then I took that same piece and I just went over the top of it, okay? The point here is that with the, especially with the project you're doing, if you don't like where it is right now, just go over it, keep going, okay? Redo it. And that's what I did. I came back in with some spackle, and I layered some spackle on there, and then I would do a wash over the spackle and give it some color, and then I would come back in with some collage, and then wash, and then spackle. Sound familiar? Kind of like what you guys are doing now, right? All right, so that's how this came about. And if you look in there, you can see some of the collage. What kind of collage do you see? What do you see in that? What do you see? You see a clown face? Then why are you laughing? What are you laughing about? You laughing at my work?
No.
What do you see? Anybody?
It looks like a piece of, like, something printed on a piece of paper or something.
Some kind of what?
Piece of paper. Like,
Okay.
right here. Like right here.
Yeah, what do you see?
It looks like you put notebook pieces of paper together.
It's not a calendar.
It's that looks like a book magazine.
It's not a magazine.
It's a house.
It's like a floor plan.
It's a floor plan.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys know what a floor plan is?
Yeah.
It's the initial drawing of a house or a building, okay?
So I was right.
Did you say floor plan?
No, I said bricks earlier. Some kind of brick on.
Okay, so it's all tied together, right? All right, so why do you think I put a floor plan in there? I like architecture, right? Now, this is an example of when you can personalize your artwork, okay? Because the floor plan that's in here is actually the floor plan of my house. So I actually, when we bought our house, I found that the previous owner left the floor plan of the house. Well, I didn't want to ruin that. I didn't want to damage or destroy that, so I took photocopies of it, okay? Just like you guys did with your quotes and your drawings, right? So I took that and I incorporated that into the artwork. So that's an example of where you can take something personal, your drawings, pictures, whatever, and incorporate that into the work. And that gives the artwork so much more personality. It makes it personal to you. It adds a layer of depth into the image. And ultimately, it just gives it a interesting final composition, okay? Because with my work, I kind of like to think that people can look at it and see something from here. And then when they get up close to it, then they start seeing other things in there, okay? And that, I think that is what makes artwork interesting, okay? Where you don't necessarily see everything pop right out at you at first. Oh, that's a face. So what? Get up closer and you go, oh, okay, well, there's quotes in there, there's little doodles in there. Okay, all those things mean something, okay? So then I took this idea and I still wanted to maintain this idea. So I kind of combined the two and got to here. So this is kind of how I'm working, or had been working up until now. I've kind of gone back to this with different media, but this is where I went to. Okay, so it is still it's realism in that you can recognize it, but it is a little abstract. I've got a variety of textures in there, and then I painted over the top. This is actually a building in Kansas City called what's that area called, Mrs. Hopeck? Down in that, is it the art district or the antiques and
the West Bottoms.
West Bottoms. Where they have a bunch of antique shops and these old warehouses. This is the old John Deere building. I don't know, some of you may, when you get down to Kansas City, you may see this, I think, as you cross the bridge coming over by Kemper.
saw it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's where this is, all right, and then this is the building next to it. So, that's how my work has evolved. The reason I wanted to kind of show this to you, number one, I wanted to, again, give you a little bit more peace of mind and take away that anxiety of, okay, what do I do? The point is, you just go, you do. All right, you can't make a mistake, and if there's something you don't like in there, we'll just layer over the top of it, whether it be with color or collage or whatever, and we go from there. So that initial idea of what you think you might want to do or where you think you're gonna go, more than likely is gonna evolve into something else, okay? What else did I have? You remember?
I think that was good.
Okay, so hopefully